Holy shit. NBA trade deadline 2023 just got real. Kevin Durant traded to the Phoenix Suns. 75 minutes the day of the 2023 trade deadline when we thought we seen it all. We thought this was going to be a normal thing. The news used to be, oh, Russell Westbrook finally gone from the Lakers, but Kevin Durant going to the Phoenix Suns, this took everything over. It's unbelievable how the Phoenix Suns are able to land one of the all-time great players to team up with Devin Booker and CP3. This might be the opportunity that CP3 might finally win a ring. Phoenix Suns, we thought that team was dead in the water. We thought after they got humiliated by Luka in Game 7, they were going to be finished. DeAndre Ayton did not look happy there, but you know what? They won 9 of their last 11 games, I believe, and they've been hot. They've been hot. There are a couple games over 500, and they are in prime position to win the Western Conference and contend for a championship. Now with Devin Booker coming back from injury and trying to rebuild like himself. And DeAndre Ayton, they didn't even have to give up DeAndre Ayton. They gave up MacLeod Bridges, and they gave up Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, and I believe 4 picks. This is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable job. And Joe Tsai, at least, he made Kevin Durant happy and let Kevin Durant go to the team that he wanted to go to play with his Olympic teammate Devin Booker. I mean, we have D-Book and KD. Both those guys at their best. They can drop 40 on any given night. And CP3 just knock down open shots and do some playmaking. And DeAndre Ayton, just a big body down low. I mean, they didn't even have to give up DeAndre Ayton for that. Are you kidding me? I mean, MacLeod Bridges and Cam Johnson, I mean, they're okay role players, but you're talking about Kevin Durant, still arguably one of the top 5 best players in the NBA, going to the Phoenix Suns team. Kevin Durant, oh my goodness. Can you believe this? This is unbelievable. Kevin Durant now gets to play with Devin Booker, and he gets the hell out of Brooklyn after the Kyrie saga. The Brooklyn Nets should be screwing themselves right now because the Brooklyn Nets has been an absolute travesty with the Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving era. Absolutely pathetic. And now they're all gone. The only one left, Ben fucking Simmons. Ben Simmons. Oh my God. 2 points a game, Ben Simmons. Holy shit. At least they have Cam Thomas, though. 3 straight 40-point games. My goodness. Like the Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie Irving is gone last week, literally a couple of days ago. When did he get traded to Dallas? Maybe just like 5 days ago. And now Kevin Durant gone. They were supposed to win multiple championships together. First of all, they try to get James Harden, KD, and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving 16 fucking games together. 1 playoff series win. 1 playoff series win. James Harden last year, gone. Kyrie Irving, gone. Kevin Durant, gone. The Brooklyn Nets, they have one of the most hated owners of all time. After what happened with the Kyrie saga, they should have traded Kyrie sooner, but guess what? That's too bad for them. The Brooklyn Nets are going downhill. They're going back to the 2010 Brook Lopez days. They're going back to their 10-win days where they drafted guys like Derek Favors. Oh my God. The Brooklyn Nets, they're going to be so bad. But the Phoenix Suns and the NBA just never stops. Chris Paul might finally get his luck. Will finally get his luck. Count it out. Many thought he was washed. There were even talks that the Phoenix Suns wanted to get rid of Chris Paul. He was involved in some trade talks. But now CP3, he doesn't have to do much. He don't need to score 20. He can just dish out a couple assists. He still averages around like 9 assists a game. So you have this lethal of a score in Kevin Durant and Devin Booker going from one side to the other. I mean, a D-Book and Kevin Durant combo is almost kind of similar to KD and Kyrie. But now you have a facilitator in Chris Paul. You got a big man in DeAndre Ayton who can get you like 16 points a game and get you double-doubles and get you easy dunks. He can rebound pretty well. He's not the best rim protector for a big, but at least he's out there. He did a pretty good job on Nikola Jokic in the 2021 postseason. And remember, that Phoenix Suns team in 2021, they swept the Denver Nuggets even though they didn't have Jamal Murray. I mean, CP3 was still balling. CP3 and Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul just needs 7 weeks of healthy playoff CP3, just healthy. If he can look like 70% of his last season self, and Kevin Durant looks like Kevin Durant, D Book look like D Book, man, the Phoenix Suns, I think they're gonna get out of the Western Conference and go to the NBA Finals against the Milwaukee Bucks. Perhaps we could see KD and Giannis part two of the Phoenix Suns Boston Milwaukee Bucks finals. I mean, the Bucks are probably going to have home court advantage with that goals, but you have Kevin Durant, who's going to be a problem for Giannis. You got Devin Booker, who's better than Chris Middleton. And you got a big man like DeAndre Ayton against Brook Lopez, too. I think that will be a hell of a series. I can see the Phoenix Suns winning that series because they just got better closers. I mean, you got Kevin Durant as a closer. You have Devin Booker as a second closer against Giannis and Chris Middleton. Give me KD and Devin Booker any day of the week. You have two guys who can score 40 on any given night. They can score 40 like points each in a big playoff game. If you need a bucket, you can just go to those two. Kevin Durant is literally just unstoppable. When Devin Booker's hot, he's unstoppable. There's not going to be too much pressure on Devin Booker, to be honest. And he's not going to have to worry about Luka Doncic anymore because Kevin Durant, as an offensive player, as a scorer, is just as good and still probably better than Luka Doncic. I'm saying as a scorer, and you have a facilitator in CP3. I mean, Kevin Durant never played with a point guard like CP3 before, who can pass and facilitate the ball. He played with guys like Steph Curry, but to play with a facilitator like CP3 who can dictate the flow of the offense and get those two in rhythm. And the great thing about Kevin Durant is he does not take away from anybody's game, different from the guys like LeBron James. That's why Kevin Durant, everywhere he went, every one of his teammates has been so effective. Kyrie has been playing some great basketball with Kevin Durant when they're healthy. James Harden is able to play his game. Kevin Durant is such a valuable piece to any team that he fits. Russell Westbrook had his best years playing with Kevin Durant. I mean, Kevin Durant did not take away from Russ's game. He let Russ be Russ. He's going to let CP3 be CP3. CP3 is going to get his 10 plus assists. Devin Booker's going to get his shine. Kevin Durant doesn't take away to anybody. He adds to the team. He didn't take away anything from Steph Curry. Steph was still Steph, getting wide open shots and dominating. When KD had the hot hand, Steph knocked down some clutch threes. Klay Thompson also delivered. KD did not take away from Klay Thompson's game. So Kevin Durant is the type of guy who can fit in any system. There's no doubt once he comes back from injury after the All-Star break, he's going to be absolutely great. All these teams right now, all the 29 teams, I should say, all the 16 teams that are trying to contend for the playoffs are absolutely shitting their pants right now. They are absolutely shitting themselves about Kevin Durant and Devin Booker dropping 40 bombs after 40 pieces on those teams. There's going to be nothing the NBA can do to stop it. Oh, the Los Angeles Clippers? Oh, I don't see it. Kawhi Leonard doesn't really look that great right now. He's been banged up, played like shit today against Dallas. Paul George is now nowhere near as good as Kevin Durant when Kevin Durant is healthy. I mean, the only thing that's stopping Phoenix Suns from a championship is if one of their top three best players get injured. Like if CP3 just gets some unfortunate, untimely injury, like in the postseason, or Devin Booker's not healthy, or Kevin Durant gets hurt. That's the only way how the Phoenix Suns are not going to win, because they are by far the most talented team in the NBA. You're talking about a guy who's a top 5 player in the game, Devin Booker, who's a top 15 player in the game, and CP3, who's still probably like the top 10 point guard in the game and one of the top 5 best passers in the game. You have DeAndre Ayton, who's probably like the 6 or 7 best center in the NBA. And you have big men, you have floor general, you have shooters. I mean, Kevin Durant is probably going to be the Suns' best defender right now. So they're probably going to sign more pieces, to be honest, and see what's in the market. Maybe try to get like a defensive wing off the bench like a Mo Harkless. If he's still available, he would probably fit in for the Suns. They have Cameron Payne off the bench now and all those other guys. I mean, they don't have much depth, but if you have Kevin Durant in a playoff game playing 40 minutes, you really don't need depth because Kevin Durant and Devin Booker is going to go all out and ball out. And you see Game 7 last season when the Suns couldn't do anything against Luka Doncic, Devin Booker and CP3 look helpless. If those guys are helpless, guys like Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, those role players are absolutely helpless because they're specifically 3-and-D type guys. They need their superstars to drive when they can drive. But now you have Kevin Durant who can get you a bucket at any moment, anywhere in the basketball court, anywhere, at any given time. He's the most unstoppable scorer, arguably, of this century, to be honest. Kevin Durant can find his own shot. He's almost like a cheat code, unguardable 6'10", and he's been proven to be great in the playoffs year after year. Besides that Boston series, when Kyrie was in a funk and Ben Simmons was an absolute no-show. So that's when Kevin Durant struggled. But when you got a guy like Devin Booker who can get hot like that, and once Devin Booker gets hot and keeps getting double teamed, then that leaves the floor open for Kevin Durant to get his 30 piece to shine. And then CP3 is going to be easy for Chris Paul. He's just going to facilitate and knock down open shots. And CP3 is good enough as a shooter so he can hit some three-pointers. And DeAndre Ayton's going to have a lot of easy opportunities. Kevin Durant plays very good with big men. Look at him with the pick and roll with Nick Claxton, feeding him the ball. And now he could feed DeAndre Ayton inside. I mean, my goodness, man. Monty Williams, one of the most respected head coaches. Kudos to him. He's going to have a lot of fun coaching up Kevin Durant. When the Phoenix Suns looked like they were heading towards a disastrous downfall, they get Kevin Durant. Congratulations to the new owner, Matt Tibia, or whatever how you pronounce his name. What a splash. What a first impression as the owner. My goodness, Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns. I am still in shock about what happened. DeAndre Ayton is going to shoot like 85% from the field. I mean, he's going to probably have like a 15 of 15 shooting games where he's just getting wide open layups like Anthony Davis in the 2017 All-Star game. I can see DeAndre Ayton getting those numbers. So for those of you who are tuning in, Kevin Durant traded to the Phoenix Suns. Holy shit. Things just got crazy. I'm about to read some of the comments to see. Thank you all for joining, but I am in disbelief. I am in shock. It seemed like Kevin Durant was dead in the water and Kyrie was going to fuck up his career. But Josai traded Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns. Now he has like 25-year-old Devin Booker and CP3 and Kevin Durant together. Oh my God. Just imagine if KD had CP3 in his prime with the OKC days. I mean, they probably would have won a title. I do think this trade will send the Suns to the finals because the Western Conference is wide open. I mean, the only other team that's really legit title contenders in the West this season I see are the Denver Nuggets. With Jokic playing the best basketball of his career, going to win his third straight MVP most likely, and Jamal Murray looking like his former self as a 20-point scorer. Michael Porter's been great. I mean, the Denver Nuggets have more depth right now, and they're a more balanced team than the Suns because of the positions and the 3-and-Ds with the KCPs, defensive specialist Bruce Brown, Jamal Murray and Michael Porter, great shooters. And then Aaron Gordon, who's just a specialist. He's probably going to guard KD a lot. And then you have Jokic, who's unstoppable. But the talent of the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant and just Devin Booker might be just too much because those guys are just killers on the court. I mean, they're just bucket getters. I mean, their talent is so surreal. And then you have a guy in DeAndre Ayton who can hold his own just a little bit against Jokic. I mean, the Denver Nuggets are going to be in a lot of trouble. I mean, the Denver Nuggets, Jokic, he's not really the best defensive like big. Once Kevin Durant gets the ball down low and he's attacking the basket, you think he's gonna fear Nikola Jokic? I don't think so. I don't think Aaron Gordon is long enough for KD. I think KD would just destroy him. He's just too good in the playoffs when he has the height to shoot over anybody, and it's been proven. And Jamal Murray and Devin Booker, if Jamal Murray can stay within striking distance and kind of play similar to Book, while Book is the better player, I mean, the Denver Nuggets have a little bit of a chance. They have very good players too, but I just think at the end of the day, the Phoenix Suns with having Kevin Durant and then having guys like Devin Booker with CP3 and Ayton, that's just too good of a team. It's just really too good. I mean, it's just surreal how much better they are. And I don't trust Golden State right now. Golden State, if they ever get their shit together this season, Steph Curry looks like he's going to be out for weeks. I mean, are they even going to be in the play-in? Like Golden State, they just lost today to Portland. I watched that game and they couldn't score in the last like 3 minutes. I mean, their offense is just so discombobulated, turnover after turnover. I don't see Golden State having a high seed, and they can't win anything on the road. I mean, if they play Phoenix, the Suns are gonna have home court advantage. I mean, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker together on the floor, I just don't see them losing. Golden State's just this season, they just seem like they're so off right now, and they just don't look like championship caliber unless Steph and Clay can tune it up and Draymond tunes it up. But they just can't win a road game. I mean, Golden State doesn't seem that serious this year. They just seem pretty burnt out. Andrew Wiggins don't look as motivated. And also other teams like the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, Memphis has been losing a lot of games after what happened with Shannon Sharp incident. They lost a shit ton. Maybe they're getting back to life and realizing like they ain't really that good. They talk a lot of shit as a young team, very arrogant. But now they're losing all these games. And Dylan Brooks, do you trust that guy in the playoffs? No. I mean, John Moran is amazing. Jaren Jackson Jr. is amazing, but they can't do anything against Kevin Durant, to be honest. Like, Kevin Durant against anybody on Memphis, who's going to guard him? Desmond Bain. I mean, Jared Jackson Jr. is pretty good. I mean, Steven Adams pretty good. Memphis can probably win like a game or two against the Suns, but then you have the experienced CP3, who's been in a million like big playoff games before, and then you have Devin Booker, who's a better player than Desmond Bain, and Kevin Durant is way better than anybody on Memphis. The Suns' like offensive firepower is just too much, and then you have Ayton and Steven Adams, the two bigs that kind of cancel each other out. I don't see Memphis as a real contender, honestly, because they have just a bunch of talented guys grit in the regular season. But come playoff time, Dylan Brooks still on the team. He's going to chuck you out the gym. So I don't trust Memphis. I definitely don't trust the Los Angeles Clippers. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, they don't play enough games. They don't look hungry all the time. I mean, Kawhi coming off that ACL injury, he's probably not going to look 100% until like next season. I mean, the Clippers just need him to play a lot more, and he can't low manage because they try to get good playoff positioning. But Kevin Durant is way better than Kawhi Leonard this season as of now. And I would say Devin Booker and Paul George is probably about even, so it's pretty close. But the advantage the Suns have, they have a floor general in CP3 who still killed the Clippers 2 years ago. He dropped like 41 in that closeout game 6 to go to the finals. And DeAndre Ayton, in my opinion, is a little better than Zubac. And the Clippers don't look like a good team together. Like, their chemistry is just like flat. Like, the good thing about Kevin Durant, his style of play, he's not ball dominant. He can get his shot off anytime he wants as long as his teammate passes him the ball. He's not going to bring up the ball all the time. So Kevin Durant can fit into any team. He can play for any team tomorrow if he's healthy and drop 30 points, and the team looks instantly better. Look at the Brooklyn Nets when Kevin Durant was playing this season. They were pretty close to the number one seed. They went on a streak 18-3 or something like that because of the greatness of Kevin Durant. And what happened when Kevin Durant got injured? That team just went to shit. And that's just the facts. Kevin Durant was the main focus of that Brooklyn Nets team. He was everything. Kyrie Irving couldn't do anything to replace that. And Ben Simmons, don't even get me started with the pathetic loser Ben Simmons. My God, disgusting 2 points a game. He's the worst contract in the NBA. I say probably worse than Duncan Robinson because he has all the talents, but it doesn't seem like he cares about basketball. The Brooklyn Nets are stuck with Ben Simmons. Ben 0 Point Simmons. They gave up James Harden just to get a useless Ben Simmons. Kyrie wanted out, and now KD out. Oh, man, that franchise, what a joke. What an absolute joke. What a failure. What a travesty. My goodness. I mean, 2019. I mean, if this was summer 2019 and the Nets have KD and Kyrie, one fucking playoff series won together. One. Just one. You gotta be fucking kidding me. That is so bad to look at. But you know what? That's over. 2023, February 9th is now. If Kevin Durant can lead the Phoenix Suns to a championship, I mean, it's just going to look pretty good on his legacy. I mean, just being on the right team at the right time. And now without any distractions, the Phoenix Suns don't got much distractions, to be honest. Devin Booker just plays ball. DeAndre Ayton can be a little hot-headed, can be frustrated sometimes without his touches. But, I mean, CP3 is smart enough at this point of his career, realizing he has one of the best players on his team added. I mean, this is your chance to win a ring. Just don't fuck up for the next 4.5 months. And you should be NBA champions. I mean, that's easier said than done. I do think in the West, no team beats them, but in the East, Milwaukee and Boston can absolutely challenge the Phoenix Suns and go toe to toe. And I don't see the Sixers. I just think the Sixers are a level below the Celtics and a level below the Bucks because I don't trust James Harden in the playoffs, and Philly will need to depend on him and Embiid. So thank you for tuning in. I'm still gonna talk for a little bit. Holy shit. I still cannot believe this is real. Kevin Durant stole the show from the trade deadline. This is probably going to be the most impactful trade deadline that we've seen since 2008 when the Los Angeles Lakers got Pau Gasol for Kwame Brown and just picks and whatnot. And the Lakers became instant title contenders. They made the finals, lost to the Celtics the first year, but they won the next two, so they made 3 straight finals after the acquisition of Pau Gasol. This has the potential to be even more impactful if the Phoenix Suns do win a title because Kevin Durant, he's 34 years old. He's still putting up 30 points a game this season. Insane efficiency, shooting like 56% from the field. Imagine the looks that he will get from CP3. He'll be even more efficient. My goodness. I mean, Kevin Durant being efficient with Kyrie and a bunch of like average teammates. Just imagine him with CP3. And if Devin Booker's cooking and he's got it going, just think about how much easier the game will go for Kevin Durant. Oh my goodness. The Nets just blow up a super team. It's crazy. I mean, the Nets season tickets holder sucks for you guys. I'm sorry. Really sorry to say. That was a travesty, to be honest. D'Angelo Russell back in the Lakers uniform. He's a slight upgrade from Russell Westbrook, but I don't trust him in the playoffs at all. He's very inefficient. He was almost unplayable last playoffs, to be honest. If you watch that Memphis series, he just stinked it up. I mean, the Lakers, at best, they're going to be a play-in team at best, but I don't see who they can surpass because they're 5 games under 500. They got a lot of work to do. The Nets deserve what they get for trading Brick Simmons. Will Kyrie once again be a choker if the Mavs go to the playoffs? They could win a series or two. I mean, dude, the Western Conference playoffs going to be so crazy. I mean, the standings is pretty insane. It seems like the Denver Nuggets have the number 1 seed on lock. The 2 seed, Memphis probably has it. And the 3 seed, the Phoenix Suns will probably get the 3, assuming Kevin Durant comes back like right after the All-Star break. We still don't know how long he's out for, to be honest. I mean, it seems like the same injury that he had like from a season ago, and he was out like almost 2 months, and it's gonna be almost 2 months right after the All-Star break, assuming he'll be back. Jeez. This is crazy. The NBA just stole all the show from the Super Bowl. That is true. Bones Highland might get traded. I can see that. Like the Denver Nuggets, they definitely gotta make some moves too and need guys that are ready to win. Yeah, James Harden might be an all-star for the replacement. That's also facts with Jaylen Brown getting injured. Make life harder for the Lakers. You don't got to worry about the Phoenix Suns. Worry about trying to get to the play-in. The Lakers still the fucking 13th seed. 13th seed. They're 2 games behind Portland for the play-in. And you got a lot of teams in the Western Conference right now as I'm about to pull up the standings. I mean, the Lakers, even with D'Angelo Russell and Jared Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley, it's not a guarantee they make the playoffs. I mean, they got there are other teams that are trying to contend for the postseason. Now that Minnesota has Mike Conley, like they're the 8th seed. Carl Anthony Towns gonna come back. I mean, he should help the team. Him and Anthony Edwards. The Wolves were playing good last season, and Mike Conley has some chemistry with Rudy Gobert. So Minnesota didn't spend all that money to not make the playoffs. You know they're gonna ball out hard. You know the New Orleans Pelicans gonna ball out hard once Zion comes back, probably after the All-Star break. They're a hungry team trying to get good. I mean, they didn't trade CJ McCollum for nothing. I mean, the Clippers spending all that money to get Kawhi and Paul George and really destroy all their picks to get those 2. They're going to try to make the postseason, and they're still 4 games above 500 right now. Dallas just got Kyrie Irving, going to make the postseason. The Sacramento Kings. I mean, the Sacramento Kings hasn't made the playoffs since 2006. They're going to try to make the postseason. So those other teams right there with the Grizzlies and Nuggets. So I mentioned 8 teams already, and I didn't even mention Golden State, the ninth team. I mean, they're talented enough to get to the playoffs. So those are 9 teams right there that are probably going to finish ahead of the Lakers. Without a doubt, those 9 teams. I mean, the Lakers' schedule. I mean, it's not looking good, to be honest. They have a pretty tough schedule ahead, and they already have 30 losses. 30 losses, like 55 games into the season. So the Lakers have 27 games left. Or you think they're gonna be 20-7? I highly doubt it. Anthony Davis looking like crap, like after coming back from injury. Is he gonna get hurt again? Once he's hurt again, the Lakers gonna be too inconsistent. Their chemistry needs to click now. I mean, the last 27 games, if they can go like something like 16-11, they're still 500. 16-11, because they're 5 games under 500. The Lakers go 16-11. They're 41-41. That's probably going to be a play-in spot, like the 9th or 10th seed. And I didn't even mention teams like the Portland Trailblazers yet, like Damian Lillard. He didn't just sign an extension just to settle for missing the playoffs. Of course he wants to make the play-in. So you have 10 teams right there. And then I don't really count Utah. I think they're going to fall apart. They're just not that good. Larry Marketing, fantastic season, but that team's just not talented enough. I mean, if they finish ahead of the Lakers and make the play-in in the Lakers dome, it's embarrassing for LA, to be honest. And I haven't even mentioned OKC. That's still like what? They're like a game and a half or 2 games above the Lakers. They're 1.5 games ahead of the Lakers and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and that team, young and hungry. You can't just like sleepwalk them too. So there's a bunch of teams out there in the playoffs. If those other teams start winning a lot of games too in the middle of the pack that are a game or 2 ahead of the Lakers might not make the play-in even if they play well. I'm just being honest, and that's just facts. Those other teams are also really good. They spent a lot of money and made sacrifices so they can try to compete in the West. So the Lakers, the playoffs, they're not going to make the playoffs as a 1-6 seed. The play-in I could see as a 10 seed, maybe 9, but those other teams, they're trying to win too. So the Lakers in a tough spot, and they lost a shit ton of games already. But Russell Westbrook is gone. Interesting to see where he goes next. Will Kyrie join Phoenix in the summer? I mean, is he gonna take a pay cut? Is he? That's an interesting question. I mean, if you were Kyrie Irving, would you rather play with LeBron James or would you rather play with Luka Doncic? I mean, LeBron James is going to be 39 years old next season. He demands a lot of attention. And if you can't play well with LeBron James, which Kyrie could, him and LeBron have perfect chemistry, but LeBron's getting older, and it's not going to be Kyrie's team. Luka Doncic is the better player, and he's the younger player, and Luka's only getting better. So why would anyone want to play with LeBron instead of Luka Doncic? That's what I will not get. So dark horse contenders in the East, there's no dark horse contenders. I mean, Philly is somewhat of a contender outside of Boston and Milwaukee, and Cleveland now is the 4th best team. The Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant, they did all this work. 32-22 overall. They were 32-20 just a couple of nights ago, and now they're all of a sudden they're the 5th seed. So you gotta like drop them, because they're still like 5.5 games ahead of the Atlanta Hawks. The New York Knicks have officially surpassed the Brooklyn Nets as the team of New York now. Holy crap. Holy crap. Yeah, the Knicks are back as New York's team. Brooklyn in the lottery, down in the bottom, back to the Billy King days, back to the 2010 days. Oh man, when they were just terribly awful. Back to the 2016 days when they won like what, 21 games. It's going to be a while for the Nets to be good again. My God, they were not that good. That's crazy. Whoa. Minnesota has fallen off. They fall off a little bit. Carl Anthony Towns has been hurt, but Anthony Edwards has been balling. And now Mike Conley, I do think Mike Conley's an upgrade as a point guard compared to D'Angelo Russell, because Mike Conley, he's actually very unselfish. He's not going to take that many shots. He's just going to bring up the ball, try to make the right plays, but I don't really trust him in a playoff situation with Carl Towns. I mean, Anthony Edwards going to have to make that leap in the postseason. But Minnesota, they're probably going to finish ahead of the Lakers. I mean, they spend their whole future in getting Rudy Gobert. So the Timberwolves, I do think they're going to make the play-in, and they probably get in the playoffs and play like the Denver Nuggets or a team like the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round. We could be seeing a rematch, but I do think the Wolves, they're probably going to be a play-in team, let's be honest. Carl Anthony Towns probably going to be back in a couple weeks, I assume, and they're a little bit over 500. I do think they're going to be okay. They're just going to be okay. But Cat and Rudy Gobert, early season, they had a lot of their issues because both of those guys, they're the opposite of each other in terms of their skill set. I mean, they're not both equally good at the same thing. So Carl Anthony Towns, he's obviously phenomenal on offense, but Rudy Gobert is a defensive specialist. And Carl Towns and Rudy, they both can't move their feet in the perimeter like that. Rudy Gobert is a great rim protector, but he's also limited in a lot of ways. And Carl Anthony Towns doesn't really help defensively and add to Rudy's weaknesses when they can't move their feet. They can't cover three-point shooters. So that's been their issue, but they should still be talented because of the players they have. And Anthony Edwards, he's quietly averaging like 25 a game this season. So if you have a good Anthony Edwards who's showing a lot of confidence, Mike Conley, a solid playmaker, he's better for the team than D'Angelo Russell, in my opinion. The Minnesota Timberwolves will just be okay, but they are nowhere near as good as the Phoenix Suns. Carl Anthony Towns, what is his record? Like 4-8 in the postseason, and he's already like 27 years old. So I don't trust Cat. Russell Westbrook, he's not gonna play for Utah. Like, are you serious? I mean, Utah is one of the worst places for any athletes, NBA superstar athletes like Russell Westbrook to play, especially what the fans did with him and that interaction. I doubt he'll play for Utah. They're probably gonna cut him. And Russell Westbrook, what if he signs with the Clippers? I can absolutely see that out of desperation too, because Russell Westbrook, I mean, he's gonna pick up the slack because Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are gonna be 50% some nights, and Russ is just gonna go off with the Clippers. I can see Russell Westbrook signing with the Clippers without a doubt. I mean, he still brings more value than John Wall, but he just got to accept his role and maybe play like 20 good minutes a game where he just plays his butt off, but not play in crunch time because he's very erratic. And Russell Westbrook can help the Clippers in a lot of ways and bring energy to that team. That's what Russell Westbrook is good for. You know he's going to play hard, and you have to respect that, even though he's a terrible decision maker at times. Chris Paul, the Kardashian curse, nah, I doubt it. No. I don't believe in all that nonsense Kardashian curse thing. So the Lakers will make it work, play in, possibly playoffs. They're the 13th seed. Anthony Davis is a stud if he's not injured, but look at his track record the last like 3 seasons. He's missed like half his games. Is it looking promising? Anthony Davis, he can get injured like playing the next game. Is he going to play against Milwaukee? He can get injured while just jumping for an alley-oop and then hurt his back. Like, be like, oh, like 6 weeks. If Anthony Davis is hurt for like a 2-week period, the team is screwed, just straight up. I mean, LeBron is just he's going to get a lot of his numbers, no doubt. And the most effective way for the Lakers to play, just look at that 2020 team. Look at LeBron's numbers. He was only averaging 25 a game, led the league in assists with 10 assists. And look at the last couple seasons. LeBron, 30 points a game and 30 points a game. And what does that get you? Under 500, losing a bunch of games, playing no defense, just empty calories, empty numbers. So the Lakers, when they have their 3-and-D guys like Malik Beasley, Vanderbilt's a pretty big body. Hachimura's okay, but I don't think he's going to play much if they make the postseason. The Lakers are at their best when they have good shooters and good 3-and-D guys, and LeBron's really facilitating the ball, and D'Angelo Russell's knocking down his threes. If D'Angelo Russell can continue shooting 39% from deep like he has this season, he hasn't really shot the ball badly. 46, 47% from the field. That's not terrible for D'Lo. He shot 41% the year before. So if D'Lo can knock down his threes and kind of be like a spot up like guy like kind of Mo Williams-ish for LeBron when he was with Cleveland, and then Anthony Davis is healthy Anthony Davis, the Lakers absolutely could make some noise for sure. I mean, they still have guys like Pat Beverly and Dennis Schroeder, scrappy guys that are going to play hard. I mean, Troy Brown Jr., the Lakers are stacked. I mean, they have a stacked team, but I'm just worried when Anthony Davis like gets down, dude. Like, Anthony Davis might get hurt. Their season is fucked. They're 5 games under 500. They got to start winning these games now. I mean, they have Milwaukee coming up tomorrow, the hottest team in the NBA, and and Anthony Davis might sit because LeBron played his ass off to get the scoring record. And before my analysis going forward, congrats to LeBron James becoming the all-time leading scorer. Well-deserved, remarkable, unbelievable accomplishment, surreal. I mean, kudos to LeBron James for just dominating and becoming one of the greatest athletes we have ever seen. And his body of work, it should be an inspiration to every player and every athlete, how he takes care of his body. And the fact that he's still in talks about trying to win titles and trying to dominate as one of the better players in the league. That is remarkable. It really is. But if you're playing for a LeBron team, you better deliver. If you're a role player, D'Angelo Russell, if D'Angelo Russell fucks this up, he might get a very low contract. He might even sign for a minimum if he's this bad for the Lakers. I mean, when you try to team up with LeBron, you're playing with fire. You're playing with fire. This could end either one of two ways. You're either gonna be celebrated like you're a king and everyone's gonna love you. Some guys like a KCP, like he played excellent with LeBron James because he's grade 3 and D. But then, like, if D'Angelo Russell doesn't perform, he's gonna end up maybe like Dennis Schroeder, getting a minimum from turning down 84 million to nobody wanting him. That would be an absolute travesty for D'Angelo Russell. And if your guys like trying to play with LeBron, just look at Darren Williams' career after he tried to chase a ring with Cleveland. They wanted a backup point guard for Kyrie. Darren Williams shit the bed in the finals. Darren Williams out the NBA instantly. Look at Derek Williams, former second overall pick behind Kyrie Irving, and he signed with the Cavs, trying to be the guy that potentially can guard Kevin Durant, but he ended up barely playing in the finals. And Derek Williams, after that, he was out the NBA pretty much. He played 3 games for the Lakers like a year after, but he was pretty much gone. Isaiah Thomas, look at him when he tried to play with LeBron James. What happened to IT afterwards? He was pretty much passed around like a hot potato. Isaiah Thomas was never the same after playing in Cleveland, being traded, after playing with LBJ just a little bit, got a lot of blame, and everyone just hated him from there. So if you're a LeBron teammate, you have to be careful. You have to perform. That's the expectation. Otherwise, you get shoved to the side. Just look at Russell Westbrook. Look how badly he's been treated lately. I mean, look how badly he's been ridiculed and criticized. I mean, there hasn't been a player more criticized in my lifetime that I've seen covering and watching the NBA than Russell Westbrook the last 2 years, just constantly getting shit on by everybody. I mean, by Skip Bayless calling him Westbrick and people making fun of his kids and whatnot. I mean, but that's what happens when Russell Westbrook plays with the Lakers and plays with a guy like LeBron James. If Russell Westbrook was playing for all the 29 other teams, would people be criticizing him that much? They wouldn't. But that's what happens if you're going to play secondary or third option under a guy like LeBron James. D'Angelo Russell better not mess this up. This could break him or make him. And if he continues to make his dumb mistakes and does some wrong things, I don't think he's going to play much in the postseason if the Lakers get there. Or maybe D'Angelo Russell will be a rental. Maybe he won't even last as long with the Lakers as he did with Golden State. I mean, Golden State got rid of him and they got Andrew Wiggins. And guess what happened? They won a championship. Can you believe that? So that was what happened with D'Angelo Russell. They better not mess this up. I don't think the Phoenix Suns will be a dynasty because Kevin Durant's going to be 35. He's still got a couple great seasons left, but that's a good question because DeAndre Ayton's only like 23 or 24, so he's young. Devin Booker is still young. Devin Booker's probably not even in his prime yet. I mean, Chris Paul is just pretty old. I do think that CP3 might be able to play a couple more seasons. Just having KD and Devin Booker there, I mean, man, that's crazy. I mean, Kevin Durant would just sign an extension with the Nets, and then he was out, like literally, like in a couple months span. So that is just unbelievable stuff. The Phoenix Suns already gave DeAndre Ayton a lot of money. So I do think there's going to be a bunch of players that will go to Phoenix, attractive destination there. The Phoenix Suns might finally end their curse from being ringless. They're still haunted by the Michael Jordan days. So with that, let me see some comments. The Timberwolves. They are Anthony Edwards' team, but now Devin Booker is the second best player in the NBA. Like how many players, how many teams in this league's second best player is better than Devin Booker? Maybe the Lakers. I mean, I still think that LeBron James is the most reliable player, and Anthony Davis. I mean, if healthy, AD's really good, but he's only healthy like half the time. But Devin Booker being the second best player, like he's probably better than almost anybody's second best player on any team. Like the Milwaukee Bucks' second best player is Drew Holiday right now, or Chris Middleton, and Devin Booker is a better player than both of those guys too. And DeAndre Ayton's been cooking. DeAndre Ayton has been litting it up. I mean, he's actually been. I mean, he had like a 35 and 15 game the other night against the Knicks. That was his career high. He's averaging over 18 and 10 this season. Not bad for DA. Not bad at all. 24 years old. So DeAndre Ayton, let's see. His last 7 games, 23.4 points, 13 rebounds, in 60% from the field. His last 2 games, he had a 31-point game against 31 and 16 games against Detroit. That's a cakewalk. And then against Brooklyn, it was against Brooklyn, 35 and 15 for DA with Nick Claxton guarding him. So DeAndre Ayton has been showing some promise. I mean, he's been with the Suns for a couple years now with CP3. He understands what he needs to do and get it done. I mean, if his ego doesn't get in the way, there's no doubt like Kevin Durant will make this shit work. So DeAndre Ayton's another guy someone has to fear. I mean, he's somebody. He's also a big body that also in game one, he was busting Anthony Davis in 2021 playoffs. So remember that DeAndre Ayton, maybe at times he's going to win you some games. Maybe he will. Holy shit, it's 2:21 in the morning Eastern time. And we found out about this Kevin Durant news like an hour ago. I'm 41 minutes in already. Man, I was going to plan on making the video about my free agency winners and losers. I'll probably upload the video like 30 minutes after free agency is over, but it's probably going to be mostly about Kevin Durant now. But I was not planning to talk about that, but that caught me off guard. It caught everyone off guard. Everybody's going to wake up tomorrow. I mean, how many of your NBA friends are going to be texting you tomorrow like at 8 a.m. like, what the fuck? Like they're gonna be like this. They're gonna wake up. They're gonna check their phone, and they're gonna be like, Kevin Durant to the Suns. They're gonna be like this, and they're gonna be wide awake. Everybody tomorrow after they check their phone and hear the news, they're just gonna instantly wake up. They don't even have to get their coffee. They can save their $5 or whatnot to start their morning. They're either gonna be really happy or really pissed off. Laker fans are pissed off, obviously. Nuggets fans are pissed off. Celtic fans are pissed off. And Dallas fans are pissed off too. The Toronto Raptors are the clear favorites after the Jakob trade. Nope. I mean, they might make the play in. Now that the Nets are going to stink, they can open up a spot for Toronto. But, I mean, they're looking to trade someone like Fred VanVleet. I mean, OG and Anunoby, the Knicks I hear are interested in him, but for 3 first-round picks, is OG really that good? He's been fantastic defensively, and it seems like that team's not going to do much this year. I mean, that's just kind of a waste. I mean, going to Toronto, there's probably not even going to make the playoffs this year. Jakob would have helped like a bunch of teams. He's a good big body. I mean, a strong screener. I mean, somebody Skip Bayless probably loves talking about if the Spurs were actually good. The Suns were literally made for this rivalry. Yes, it is. If the Mavs somehow beat the Suns, if Kyrie and Luka beats KD and D Book, I mean, the Suns are never going to hear the end of it. But, dude, Kevin Durant is a way better player than Kyrie. I mean, the Suns, they have guys like DeAndre Ayton they didn't even have to give up. I mean, they gave up Jay Crowder, who didn't help anything this season. And Jay Crowder's probably going to ask for a buyout from the Nets. Jay Crowder's going to join Dallas. How about that? I guarantee you, I'm making this hot take right now. Jay Crowder's going to get waived by the Brooklyn Nets, and he's going to sign with the Dallas Mavericks. How about that? I mean, you can bet me on that. And then you're gonna see I told you so. I feel confident about that. Just watch that happen. Like it's just meant to happen. Lakers are gonna beat the Suns. Lakers ain't gonna do shit, my man. They ain't gonna do shit. Jay Crowder to the Lakers would it fit? Jay Crowder played with LeBron before from Cleveland, and did he play well in 2018? No, he got traded. He got traded. So traded. He got sent to Utah. So Jay Crowder, he couldn't play with LeBron, and him and Bron don't like each other. So they can try to get Jay Crowder again, but is he gonna get minutes? Is he reliable to knock down shots? I don't think so. Jay Crowder and Patrick Beverly on the same team, them fighting. Memphis is probably more pressure to trade for OG. I do think so because Phoenix is way better than them. I do think Denver's also better than them, and they need a guy that's gonna be hungry and be more mature. I mean, Memphis needs to sign guys like older players, like off the bench guys, even like a Kemba Walker, so he can tell the young kids to calm down and get their shit together. Jay Crowder about to learn Chinese for sure. Jay Crowder, he's probably gonna go to Dallas. I mean, I have a feeling he is. The Nets are a joke, man. They are an absolute joke. I mean, if the Nets, you can go on StubHub right now and find the Nets tickets for like $5. I mean, I used to go to the Nets game and pay like $7 for roll like 201 and go all the way up top. I mean, those days were pretty bad. I mean, those days like 2015, the Brooklyn Nets, like 2016, the Jared Jack days, Spencer Dinwiddie days. Spencer Dinwiddie, is he gonna play for the Nets? I mean, who wants to watch Ben Simmons now play basketball? Like, would you watch Ben Simmons for $10? I mean, might as well pay. I mean, you might as well just get paid $10 to watch Ben Simmons. Is that even enough money for you? Like, would you rather watch? Would you rather be paid $10 to watch Ben Simmons play basketball and be scared out there, or would you rather just work your regular job for $10? I think most people rather work their regular job for $10 instead of getting paid to watch Ben Simmons play basketball. So I don't know what's gonna happen with Ben Simmons. Who the hell wants Ben Simmons now? I don't see any team wanting him. I mean, his value is just so low. I mean, is Ben Simmons even worth a first round pick right now? I don't think he is. I mean, his confidence is shot. But you know what? This might be a blessing in disguise for Ben Simmons. He's gonna be forced to like dominate and try to really take over now that he doesn't have any star on his team. I mean, Cam Thomas probably gonna average like 30 points a game and make some history. I mean, might as well like shoot 30 times a game. I mean, Cam Thomas has all the time in the world to put up big scoring numbers. But Ben Simmons, man, like if he's just not gonna be aggressive now that he doesn't have to have a star, I mean, we just see that he's not working on his game, and it's just really pathetic. He did ruin his whole career. I mean, very entitled, acts very childish. I just don't see that mindset and attitude from Ben Simmons. I just don't see it. He doesn't have it. I mean, we've seen enough of Ben Simmons this season, and he's just been terrible. I mean, what's going to happen with Joe Harris, Patty Mills, Seth Curry? What's going to happen with them? My God. And I do think the Suns, they also have what? TJ Warren, too. He's going to come off the bench. I mean, I don't think he's that good anymore. So, Utah Watanabe, man, it was fun when it lasted with him and KD supporting his team, but I mean, KD seemed like a pretty good teammate, like with Cam Thomas and Utah and all those guys. Nick Claxton too. Nick Claxton about to turn into a 20 and 12 guy and 3 blocks. I mean, that Nets team, I mean, they're still somewhat watchable. They're likable without Ben Simmons for sure. I mean, but they're gonna be trash for a while. They're gonna be trash for a while, but at least they have all their picks. But I don't know when the Nets are gonna be good again. So I haven't watched an NBA game for 3 years. Like I haven't went to a game live since like I think either late 2019 or 2020. Like I went to a Knicks game like before COVID, but I'm glad to say that I never been to a Nets game living in New York City when Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving was playing. It was just not meant to be. I kind of felt it. Like I'm not gonna waste my money to watch like a team that's so unhappy and dysfunctional play. And a lot of it I blame the Nets ownership, management, and Kyrie Irving. the Sixers overrated? I don't think they're overrated. I think they're properly rated. I think they're probably the fourth or fifth best team in the NBA right now, maybe. So I don't. I think they're properly rated. I think Embiid's having a terrific season. Embiid, I do think he's probably going to be second for MVP behind Jokic again because he's missed a bunch of games early in the season, and Jokic is just incredible. With Joel Embiid, he's been absolutely phenomenal. I think Joel Embiid's probably been the second best player all season behind Jokic. His scoring ability is getting hot. Joel Embiid just needs to get hot at the right time. And now if you're one of those teams in the East, how important would it be to get the number one seed right now? Because the Brooklyn Nets, you don't gotta worry about Kevin Durant and Kyrie anymore. So if you're the Bucks, Celtics, or Sixers in contention to get the number one seed, so if you're the number one seed, the second seed, whether like two of those three teams, they gotta have to play each other in the semis. So assuming the number one seed either the Sixers, Celtics, or Bucks, if they play the four seed, it's probably going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers and Donovan Mitchell. And I love Donovan Mitchell, but that team seems like they're just missing something. I just don't think Cleveland's ready yet to truly contend. I do think they will win a playoff series for sure. They're probably going to beat the Knicks in the first round or a team like that. And so so the Boston Celtics with Jalen Brown, he seems like he's going to be out a couple weeks. The East standings is very tight. It's still a three-team race. Man, the Sixers are 4 games out of the number one spot. The Celtics 39 and 16 right now. Jalen Brown's going to be out. And now Milwaukee, they're only 1.5 games away. And they've been kind of slacking off like a couple months ago with Giannis out. Like he was hurt a little bit, scoring some single-digit games. And now they won 8 straight. And now they have Chris Middleton back. Drew Holiday playing some of the best basketball he's played. And Brook Lopez being Brook Lopez, knowing what he does best. And then Bobby Portis, I believe, is still out. He's probably going to be out in a couple more weeks. And then you have Giannis in his prime right now. I do think it's probably going to be the Milwaukee Bucks that's going to chase the number one seed now that Boston doesn't have their second best player in Brown. So if Milwaukee, if they have all the momentum going and they start building a win streak, Giannis is still probably in the discussion for MVP, although he's not having that efficient of a season right now. Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks, it seems like the Bucks are trending in the right direction. They're probably going to be clicking on all cylinders right now. Just a tough loss with Boston with Jalen Brown, man. I mean, they played so well all season, and they played very hard, had good chemistry. And for them to slow down like that, and they probably going to have to play like Philadelphia in the second round, that's not an easy series. So for Boston and Philly, that could go 7 games. But for Philly to win, James Harden needs to dominate and be a superstar. Just play well, James Harden. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him because Joel Embiid, he's been hurt in many postseasons, and it seemed like he gets hurt on the wrong time. Like with the Miami series, he's missed first 2 games against the Heat where Philly just had no offense and they just couldn't win it. But with a healthy Joel Embiid, they can absolutely beat Boston and contend with Milwaukee. But guys like James Harden's got to ball out. Tyrese Maxey's got to really ball out too with Shea Milton. And Tobias Harris got to do something. He's just got to absolutely do something. I do think that whoever gets the number one seed will have a pretty easy road in the East to get to the conference finals because Cleveland's probably not ready yet. I just don't see Cleveland beating a guy like Giannis, a guy like an Embiid, or a guy like Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. The Cavaliers, I mean, Darius Garland's fantastic. Evan Mobley's fantastic, but I think he's still a couple ways away. They have a very good team in Cleveland. Maybe they do something in the trade deadline or move a piece like a Karis LeVert. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, I just don't think they're there yet. I think they'll be better next season. Or the Miami Heat. I haven't really mentioned them that much. Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler finally healthy. Where are they going to move Kyle Lowry? Who knows? But it's going to be tough to take Kyle Lowry's contract, to be honest. I mean, the Lakers already have their point guard in D'Angelo Russell. So that's pretty out of the equation. Maybe the Clippers will get like Kyle Lowry. But I just don't see the Miami Heat like just beating Milwaukee or a Philly or a Boston team right now. Maybe the Heat will get the 5th seed, but that's a great matchup. The 4-5 matchup, Cleveland versus Miami. against the winner place like a team like Milwaukee. I mean, Jimmy Butler balls out in the postseason. So Miami is still in contention for the East right now. Now that Brooklyn is gone, no Kevin Durant, no Kyrie, Miami might be the fourth best team right now. And Cleveland, they're gonna fight too. And then there's all the other teams like the Atlanta Hawks. I don't really trust them. I don't really trust Trey Young in the playoff. That team looks dysfunctional this year. I mean, the lack of chemistry. And John Collins, he's still on there. Like, how long he's been in trade talks? My God, or trade rumors. The Chicago Bulls. I mean, just too bad. Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan doesn't seem like they're gonna work out because Lonzo Ball, he's not recovered yet, man. Lonzo Ball, very, very sad. It seems like his knee injury. He doesn't even have a torn ACL, and nobody knows what's up with it. He's been out for over a year. It's been 13 months. I mean, Lonzo Ball, he's only like, what, 25 years old? It's been 13 months since he's had like a sore knee, and it doesn't even seem like he had like a torn ACL. And there's guys that, like Ricky Rubio, that tore their ACL in January around the time Lonzo Ball got hurt. And Ricky Rubio's back in full strength, and he's in his 30s. There's guys like Danny Green who literally teared his ACL in May of last season in the playoffs, and he's back for Memphis already. You're talking about like 36-year-old Danny Green back from an ACL injury where he suffered in May, and Lonzo Ball just had knee pains, and he's still hurt after a year? Like, what just happened? Like, would it be better if he had a torn ACL and then been recovered for a full year so he will be back now? Because nobody know what the hell is going on with Lonzo Ball. He needs to get his knee checked out, and he needs to get it checked out quick because it seems like he's just going to miss this full season. I mean, it just does not look good for Lonzo Ball. If you're being, from the looks of things right now, it might end up being like another Brandon Roy situation, as sad as it is to say, because Lonzo, no torn ACL, but why is he still not playing? Like, he's still in pain? Like, damn, that just sucks. And he's only 25 years old. I mean, imagine when he's 30, how shot his knee's gonna be. It just does not look good right there. Nets ending up with only Ben Simmons is an absolute travesty. It is. It really is. Thanks for the shout out, the Prodigy HQ. Appreciate you. I talk the way I talk. Detroit to make the playoffs. Maybe the play in next year. Play in next year. They're one of the worst teams. Maybe when they get Wembanyama, they probably have a 25% chance for that. Will your Celtics make a smaller move? They should make a small move. They really should. I mean, Bodan Bogdanovic, is he still available? I mean, Detroit doesn't seem to be trading him, but if they get like 3 first-round picks, you can't really turn that down. He's in his 30s, and he can definitely help a contender. Imagine Bogdanovic out there for Boston just lighting things up. They need somebody for Jaylen Brown now that he's hurt now, to be honest. I mean, they need big minutes. I mean, or this could be the time Jason Tatum can dominate and make his MVP case. Detroit playoffs? Nah, not right now. They're a lottery team. Clippers are going to blow it up this offseason, and they fall in the first and second round this year. They would. I mean, the Clippers, I mean, whoever they play in the first round is going to be a tough-ass series. If they're going to be like the 4th seed, they could be seeing Dallas. I mean, do they really want to see Kyrie and Luka Doncic? I mean, Luka Doncic is as scary as anybody in the playoffs. I mean, the Clippers don't want to see him. I mean, Luka Doncic, like, he can single-handedly win you a playoff series like that. So he's really that good. The Wizards are worse than Detroit. I mean, Porzingis balled out today. I mean, you don't like Porzingis? Lonzo had a torn meniscus. He was misdiagnosed. Is he going to sue his doctor for it? Lonzo Ball, like, I do think that if things don't work out with him and the Bulls, he should sign with the Phoenix Suns and go to that medical staff because, like, the Phoenix Suns medical staff's also one of the best. I almost forgot about that. Like, I should probably make a video on that soon, but they have such great medical staff that CP3 was playing some of his best ball in 2021. And CP3 is like, what, almost 38 years old? He's going to turn 38 by May, by like the second round-ish. So CP3, at times he still has it, not all the time. And then you have guys like Shaquille O'Neal, who all of a sudden became really good, like in his Sun season before he became washed with Cleveland and Boston. Shaq was still like an all-star in 2009. He was averaging around like 17 and 10 and just like looking like Shaq. He looked better than the season before. So, and then there's guys like Steve Nash. After he left the Phoenix Suns, what happened? He got hurt, and his career with the Lakers pretty much over before it even started. So Steve Nash was able to maintain his health and his back, which was messed up even since his Dallas days. Went to Phoenix, played the best basketball of his career. Amari Stoudemire, what happened after he left the Suns? After like a year with the Knicks, his knees were shot and he was never the same again. But Amari played really well with the Suns too. So you have to question the Phoenix Suns and give credit to their medical staff for having these like role players. Like when these stars become older, they just age really well with Phoenix because of their medical staff. Think about someone like Grant Hill. Grant Hill was like 37 years old or something when he signed with the Phoenix Suns, and his career was looking like a joke with the Orlando Magic. Never played more than 67 games a season, I believe, with Orlando. But what happened with Phoenix? His first 3 seasons there, I believe he played 82, 81, and 80 games. And that's, you're talking about Grant Hill. That was coming like off like 5 ankle surgeries, like with his days with the Orlando Magic. And to be healthy with the Phoenix Suns in his like late 30s and even early 40s, which just goes to show that the Suns medical staff, like they're doing something right. I mean, they are doing something right. And Kevin Durant, man, Kevin Durant, he has all these like injuries that he gets once a year. It's just from like unfortunate players like just falling on him. I mean, perhaps the Phoenix Suns, like that medical staff, will help condition KD to play he's forward so he's 40, because Kevin Durant has the basketball skills that he can shoot over anybody. And with a team like the Phoenix Suns, if he stays there long term, Kevin Durant might still be the same player 3 years from now and still be getting buckets. And Phoenix is still contending. I mean, kudos to the Phoenix Suns medical staff, honestly. So yeah, you have to give them credit. Maybe that gives a reason for Kevin Durant to like stay. Charles Barkley, I can't wait for Charles Barkley to react to his Phoenix Suns. I know he loves his Suns and he wish he could have won a championship, but we're almost 30 years from Charles Barkley making the finals and losing to the Chicago Bulls. I mean, 30 years later, can Charles Barkley get his wish that his former team, where he won MVP for, win a championship? So Phoenix Suns right now, let's say they play the Boston Celtics. You got Chris Paul matching up against like Marcus Smart. Oh, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be real tough. Jaylen Brown versus Devin Booker. Whew, that's a good one. That's a really, really good one. Jaylen Brown's probably the better two-way player, but Devin Booker is better as a scorer, as a pure scorer. Jason Tatum against Kevin Durant. Whoa, that's a good one too. That's a really good one. And then you have DeAndre Ayton versus Robert Williams. But Boston's got a better bench. They got guys like Malcolm Brogdon. Hauser's probably not going to play too much in the playoff time. Derek White. If the Suns and Celtics play together in the playoffs and match up, I would give it to Boston right now at the very moment if Phoenix doesn't make any other moves, because I do think having some depth is very important. And Phoenix, like, they did give up some of their pieces, like the Cam Johnsons and Bridges, who are role players. They need to get some of those role player backs. Like, is TJ Warren going to really help the team and play in big playoff minutes? I think Boston's just better all around because they already got the chemistry down. So if you're asking me that Boston and Phoenix going to play in the finals tomorrow with everybody at full strength, I would just slightly go with Boston right now at the very moment, but I might change my mind. If the Phoenix Suns play the Milwaukee Bucks, I think I'm going with the Phoenix Suns because Drew Holiday, he played really well against CP3 and slowed down Booker, but he has no answers for Kevin Durant. Giannis going to have to guard Kevin Durant. Like, if Giannis is going to be really this great and he's going to be considered an all-time great, and if Giannis wants to be considered a top 5 player of all time, he needs to guard Kevin Durant. If they play in the finals, Brook Lopez is not as good as DeAndre Ayton right now. I say CP3 and Drew Holiday. I say Drew Holiday is a little bit better, and Devin Booker is better than Middleton and Giannis and KD. I mean, if Kevin Durant outplays Giannis in the finals, whew, like outplays prime Giannis, I mean, Kevin Durant's going to be solidified and be up there in the all-time greats. So that's going to be a matchup to see. I can see that series go to 7 games. If we're being honest, I see it 7 games. I see the Suns beating the Bucks because I just don't trust the Bucks closers as much as I trust Kevin Durant and Devin Booker together. Chris Middleton coming off big long layoffs of injuries. I just don't see him performing in the postseason and getting 40 pieces the way he did 2 years ago. Kevin Durant's always a nightmare to deal with. And Giannis, he's going to dominate, but is he going to be able to knock down some shots like when the game is on the line? He can't just bully his way inside every other time. He's also gonna have to worry about guarding Kevin Durant. So I like Phoenix in a matchup against the Bucks, but I prefer the Celtics over the Suns right now. Celtics Milwaukee is gonna be a hell of a series too, man. That's probably gonna be a conference final. So right now, as of today, I would say Milwaukee would probably beat Boston with full strength because Middleton dominates the Celtics. But the Celtics, I say they have Phoenix's number because Tatum and KD, that matchups kind of cancels each other out. But if Phoenix plays Milwaukee, I'll take Phoenix on that one because Booker and KD down the stretch, I think it's going to be too much for Giannis and Middleton. And I don't really trust Drew Holiday offensively, too, in crunch time minutes. So the Phoenix Suns, they have a huge shot at winning the NBA championship. The Suns and 4 guy gonna be as famous as ever. I'm gonna log in for another minute or two. It's getting late. It's almost 3 a.m. in New York time. Man, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. It's all, you know what? 12 hours and 14 minutes and 30 seconds away from the trade deadline. My math is pretty good. Pretty good. The Warriors better make a move. I heard that they might trade some like Moses Moody. Why would you say Devin Booker's washed? He just came back. What kind of dumb question is that? He's like 25. Who says Booker's washed? Some of these comments are ridiculous, dude. I mean, Jack Ranston, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just trolling at 3 a.m., drinking too much alcohol at this time. If Suns build chemistry, they can build it. They can win it against the Celtics and Bucks. I agree. I definitely think they have a better chance in beating the Bucks than they do the Celtics. I do think Jason Tatum creates a big matchup problem with Kevin Durant, and the Celtics also got guys like Al Horford and Robert Williams. That might be too much of a handful for a guy like DeAndre Ayton. That might be a handful for that. CP3, he might win a ring finally. If Kevin Durant can get CP3 a ring, CP3, is he going to be top 3 point guard all time? Is he going to finally put himself in that Isaiah Thomas category? Suns easily over the Celtics? I don't know about that. I wouldn't say easily. The Celtics are pretty loaded. I mean, you see what they did to Kevin Durant last season. I do think it'll be a close series, but is DeAndre Ayton going to be prepared to deal with guys like Al Horford and Robert Williams? And if guys like Tatum and Brown keeps attacking the basket and Ayton gets in foul trouble, who's going to be the Suns' backup center? Bismack Biyombo? I mean, I don't go with that. So with that said, thank you so much for watching this video for my live reactions for Kevin Durant going to the Phoenix Suns. I'm about to drop a video probably around 13 hours from now with other free agency news. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe for more content or follow me on Twitter at Wilsonside93. So wishing all you guys have a good night's sleep and enjoy the rest of your night and stay fresh. Kevin Durant to Phoenix. What a night. I'm out. Peace. Love y'all.